right, Run Pure Sports, Holden, Tony, Stevie, Kurt, getting you ready for the Sweet 16 tonight. So we'll go through the 4 games that are happening tonight, tomorrow at the same time, 4 Eastern. We're going to go through those 4 games, and we'll go from there. But again, we got great games tonight. Arkansas, Gonzaga. We'll go through Michigan, Villanova, which is this Texas Tech Duke game is a total crapshoot for me. And I know Stevie's on Arizona. I don't know if I'm with him on that one. So we'll discuss that. Of course, Tony just chilling out. Stevie with a blurry background, and Kurt with the tanning bed play of the day. Again, I'm first person I've met that uses a tanning bed in probably 30 years, but good for you. Good for you. You look like it too. It's a great look.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's several shades darker than you and I, Holden, on this show.
Yeah. There's no question about that. It looks very natural, Kurt. So hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, the Run Pure Sports channel. We'll do DFS. We'll throw a couple of Stevie got that one. We'll throw a couple of bets in there as well. Talk to me, Stevie, just about the 4 games real quick. We'll go through all 3 of you, and then we'll get into these games.
Yeah. So last week is more of the whirlwind week. You have 4 games on at a time. Ended with that awesome TCU Zona game that I know us at the Tony household were having a great time with. But this is the weekend where you can kind of dial in. Those of us without 3 TVs up at once, are able to follow all of the action. And it starts off tonight with 4, I think, really good games. I think tonight is the better of the 2 nights as far as the Sweet 16. And I'm excited for it, man. I'm pumped.
Hey, Tony, which game are you really looking forward to tonight? Is there one that stands out to you of the 4 that we'll be talking about? Arkansas, Gonzaga, Michigan, Nova, Texas Tech, Duke, Houston, Arizona. Which one really gets you going?
As far as just pure basketball, well, and fantasy, I guess, Gonzaga, Arkansas. We've been on Arkansas for the last couple months. I think it's an interesting matchup against Zaga. The problem is Gonzaga just got a little scare last game. I think they bring their best game tonight. So Arkansas is going to have their hands full, but I think they can match up. And tonight's the good games, though, like Stevie just said. I mean, you got all 4 games are, I'd say, winnable both directions, good teams. Tomorrow we got a few scrubbier teams in there, or whatever the word you want to call them. It's all good teams today, though. So I'm excited for tonight and another slate. We're coming off Kurt's big shipper Sunday night too. The man got it done. He's living in a friggin' igloo house or whatever you want to call it, where he can touch his roof. I mean, I've never done a show with someone that can touch their roof during the show.
He's an elf. He looks impressive. Bigger than he appears.
Right.
He's got that new nice hoodie on too, though. Look at that thing.
Gang, gang. Kurt, you shipped? What'd you ship, buddy? Congratulations.
College he shipped.
After
our show, yeah.
Oh, Kurt.
Yeah. Tony should have too.
I showed you. I take it back.
Put me on here for my good looks.
You're definitely not that. Good job then. You shipped, man. That's wonderful. Absolutely terrific.
It was easily the most fun sweat I've had in my life, especially with the whole game there.
The game was just freaking awesome, though. That's why I wanted Lampkin on here. Well, we'll get him on something. He still might pop in. He has the link. I'm not sure about that, but every time this dude got a bucket, he was given the too small. We had, I don't know how many people were left in my house, 7 or 8 of us, all of us going crazy. Even Amber at the kitchen table just loving it. I mean, it was a game I'll never forget for sure. I mean, 20 years from now, I'll remember that game.
Do that.
All right, boys, let's get into the slate. Stevie, I'm going to go to you first again, and I want to get going with Arkansas and Gonzaga. Both teams kind of play with a nice little tempo. The problem with Arkansas is they can't shoot, and they can't shoot from 3. And you and I discussed this. Like, if they fall behind early, I think they're completely screwed. With that being said, let's not worry about that and focus on the Arkansas side first, because I know you've liked JD Notae throughout this thing. Is he an option tonight? And then run us through Gonzaga.
Yeah, so just kind of overall thoughts first. We've been giving DK shit like the entire season for their pricing. I like how they price the slate. It brings a lot of guys in play across the board for such a small slate. I think there are a ton of guys in play. So that's good for one. But because of that, what we're seeing is all of these Arkansas guys are priced down probably to the lowest they've been since non-conference play. Like you said, both teams top 30 in tempo. So this is definitely the best total of the slate. I think it's the best total by 10. So definitely going to want exposure here. As far as the Arkansas side, like Big T was saying, this is a team that we've been banging the drum for a while. It sucks that this is kind of the draw they got, because I thought they could have gotten a lot farther if they didn't have to match up with Gonzaga. But I think they can hang tight in this game, maybe. For DFS, Note's gotten in foul trouble a bit lately, which has been frustrating. But if he doesn't foul, this is like a 20-shot Note game, I think. You do have the Musselman auto bench, which is always frustrating. And we've seen him do it in the biggest games. So, assuming rational coaching is a little tough at this point, if these guys get 2 fouls, they're going to get benched. I really like Jalen Williams here at 7K. He's a guy that we've played a bunch. He's been up above 8K for the better part of the last 2 months. He's going to play every single minute of this game if he doesn't foul, just because Arkansas is giving up so much size to Gonzaga, and he's really their only big man. 36% rebound rate last 3. If he has a game where he can score a little bit more than he has in the past, I think he's got 40 plus upside at 7K, which is awesome. And then Amude at 6'1", he's been awesome of late, played all 40 in both tourney games. He's their best 3-point shooter, like we said last weekend. And Gonzaga, the number 1 team defensively inside the arc. So like you said, Arkansas is going to have to hit jump shots to stay in this game. They're 314th 3-point percentage this season. So it's definitely not their strength, but Amude is their best shooter. On the season, he was 38% from 3. So I do like him here at 6K. And I feel like I've been talking a while, so I'll let these guys talk about the 2 cheap Arkansas plays, who I think are keys to the slate with how you kind of use one of them, both of them, or none of them.
Okay. What up to everybody in the chat here? Got a little over 100 watching. A lot will watch after we tape it, but hit the like button, even if you're watching on tape. And then that little red button, right-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hoops throwing a big party or something. I don't, something's happening that's good when we hit 10,000 subscribers. We're not too far away. Kurt, let's go, Mr. Shipper. Give us a couple plays you like from this game and why.
All right, start with when it first came out, me and Steve thought Devo Davis would be kind of like the more chalkier. When then projections came out, and it kind of looks like Tony will definitely be the more popular option. I like him a lot better. But if you want to get different, Devo's right there for a little bit cheaper, $100. You might need that. Umude's rates, man, the past 3 is just 20, 17. And the short bench they have right now going against Gonzaga, that's super tempting. He'll be really popular as well. I got one thing on Gonzaga, actually 2 things on Gonzaga. I've been pretty good about picking and matching, which I think Big T kind of helped me with that when he always took Chet for 60. I think I'm going to go back to Chet here. Raw points wise, I think he'll outscore Timmy tonight. Arkansas is big, but they won't muscle you inside, kind of like how Memphis would. And then I kind of just a gut feeling, I like Julian tonight. You get a sub-6 guard in a good game. It's a gut thing. I mean, he's like the fourth and a half option, but just a gut thing.
You love these guys who haven't hit a shot in 2 weeks. That's
why I like him. Steve, you hit the nail on the coffin. He's been shooting terrible, but I like his game. He actually looks like a real hooper when he's out there. Some of these guys get out there and they look terrible. Yeah, I like him. I think he actually hits a couple shots tonight.
All right. Tony, throw us a couple of DFS plays here. I want to get your thoughts on the betting side too. But how heavy do you think you're going in on Gonzaga tonight, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Arkansas has all the best plays of the slate for the most part. You got the 2 cheap guys and Jalen Williams, who projects the best of the whole slate against Arkansas up in pace. They only play 5 guys. So I'm going to have a ton of interest in Arkansas right out of the gate, at least 2 or 3 of Arkansas without a doubt for me. And then you got the Gonzaga guys you're going to have to play. You're definitely not fading both Chet and Timmy. You're going to have to pick one of those 2, if not both. And I don't know, they're great play. I mean, come on, Kurt, though. I'm still rattled from you trying to throw Julian, whatever the hell you call Strawther. He's terrible. Like, if I could just get Kurt to stop playing the dudes that have 0 chance of getting to the winner.
He's not going to my main team. He's not going to my main team.
He shouldn't be on any team. I don't care how many teams you got. Like, the dude is not – he's 5,700. He hasn't cracked 25 in a month and a half. Like, stop playing dudes like him. You don't need to play him. But
that guy pop all the time randomly.
Stop talking back to your elders, Kurt. Come on, man.
Tony,
Yeah.
so what do you
Don't
think
play
Chet versus Timmy? We saw Timmy kind of take over late in both games. My personal concern with Timmy is that they might not need that type of game from him here, and Chet has been the one that's really crushed in the games that Gonzaga has kind of built a lead in.
I think you just nailed it perfectly. Like, if the game stays tight, I think Timmy is 1,000,000% the better play. If it's 15-point game, I think Chet is a much better play. I tend to like Timmy more, though. I really liked what I saw from him. I just think he's a better play. I think he's a better college player in this environment. Big game. Chet's got more upside for sure. The dude can get 10 blocks. Timmy's not getting 10 blocks. So Chet definitely has more upside. But if I had to bank on which dude does better tonight, I think I'd go with Timmy just because I trust him more. The dude wants it more too. I mean, what has he lost? 2 straight years in the finals?
Yeah, he was fired up in that second half against Memphis.
I mean, he's just going to want it more. I mean, not that Chet doesn't. Obviously, Chet does, but he's got much more NBA future coming. He's just a higher prospect. He doesn't care as much as Timmy does. I'm going to stick with Timmy, but they're both great plays. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind playing them both or 2 of the 3 and throwing them in there.
Yeah,
I don't mind. He was a little more expensive last week. We get a little discount down to 7,600. I don't know. This is definitely the best DFS game of the night, though. Obviously, I mean, you got a 154. The others are 137, 135, 145, and even the Arizona game as a 145. We'll get to it in a minute. I don't think it like goes crazy scoring wise. So I'm going to have a ton of interest in this game.
Yeah,
Hi,
I like
guys. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to mention the guy that we didn't hit on as much as we need to is Nem. I think he plays all 40 minutes here. Andrew Nemhard. We've seen him in these like pace up games really go off. He's live for a double with assists. Like Tony said, his price is down 1,000. I was kind of bummed out that he was priced up so high last weekend because I wanted to play him. And I think that he's an awesome piece in like the mid 7Ks. I think you can play him on a main team.
I think he's like a sneaky play. I'll take it even further. I think he's sneakily, and I hated him last week. These guys know that. I thought he was a terrible play at that price. I think he's sneaky to be the highest scoring Gonzaga guy tonight. I think he could definitely have a big game in this type of matchup.
Nemhart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love him tonight.
Just real quick, since we're a DFS show here, bets. You got a side here, Stevie, Kurt. We'll go to you next. But who are you on tonight in this game?
I didn't bet this one yet. I'll probably bet it live, especially if Arkansas goes up early. I want to be on the Gonzaga side. I think it's at 9.5 now.
Yep. I saw 10 too, so watch out.
Yeah. So I think this is exactly what we were talking about last weekend. You've got guys on the Arkansas side. If they pick up 2 fouls in that first half, they're going to get benched. You can live bet Gonzaga first half or full game if Note or Jalen Williams pick up too early.
Kurt, any bets here?
I'm very bad at betting, but I actually agree with Steve. I'm
very bad at betting.
Gonzaga gets down early, take them, and then hope Arkansas gets in foul trouble like they always do.
Tony, anything in this one?
Yeah, I like the over. I'll bet the over for sure. I think we see a bunch of points. I could see Gonzaga blowing them out, and it's still going over. Gonzaga team total too. I don't have I got to open up the DK
82-ish.
72
what is
and a
it?
half?
82?
82 and a half, I mean.
Yeah, I'm definitely betting the team total over and the game total over. As far as the spread, I agree with these guys. I want to see. Last week we saw Gonzaga go down twice. I thought Memphis would beat them at halftime. They were down 10 or 12 or whatever it was, 8, somewhere in there. I thought they'd beat them. They could have beat them. It was a great game. Memphis is, I think, a top 10 team. They just were underseeded based on the season. So that was a tough blow. Memphis was a tougher matchup than Arkansas for them. But I'll wait and see what happens. If Gonzaga just runs them the whole time, I probably won't bet a side. But if Arkansas jumps out like 10 or 12 early, I'll definitely want to get on the Gonzaga side with these guys.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's move on to our second game here. What up to the chat, everybody in there? Good to see you, including Toe Tag and Tambo. Michigan and Villanova. This one could get crazy here. Although neither team likes to play very fast. Nova -5, 135.5 is the total. Yep, it's just staying sweet. We got a little line change there at Texas Tech Duke when we get there. But Stevie, Michigan, Villanova. Do we want to make sure we get Hunter Dickinson tonight? Is he not that important? And then on the other side, can we go with a little bit of value, like a dude like Eric Dixon down at 5,300? So maybe you could start with Dixon and the Villanova guys and then take over the Michigan side.
Yeah, so this is an interesting game. This is probably not a game that we would have much exposure to on a larger slate, but we only have 4 games here. I don't think people will play guys from this game just because of the tempo, but I think there's going to be shot making in this game. Nova side, we've seen Jermaine Samuels. They were limiting his minutes all year because he was battling some injuries. They have ramped him up 31 and 38 in their 2 tournament games. The leash is off. He's definitely the best interior scorer on the team, and I think their best rebounder. 26% rebound rate last 3. The way you beat Michigan is inside, because Dickinson's so important offensively that he's basically stopped trying to defend hard. Like he's giving up easy buckets because he cannot afford to get in foul trouble. So I think Samuels is my favorite play on Nova. We get a price break on him. You can play the Nova guards. They're good cash plays, I think. We hate using that word, but I guess in that I'm saying I don't see a big ceiling from either of them. Moore hasn't played well lately. I don't love either of them. I would definitely rather play Samuels. And then you said Dixon. Yeah, I mean, the rotation's condensed. I don't see a monster score, but at 5'3", you don't really need it. And with Michigan running out Dickinson and Diabate, I think Nova's going to need his size. But we're kind of burying the lead here. I think my favorite play in this entire game is Devontae Jones from Michigan. He's, last weekend, he missed the first game. We played Frankie Collins. He started the second game, tweaked something, and missed the second half. He got cleared like Sunday night or Monday morning. So he's been practicing all week. He's not projecting well, which makes me love him even more. I think he plays like 34 minutes in this game. He's at 5'5". I mean, this is a guy who had earned that mid 7K tag with just awesome play down the stretch. And I think Michigan's really going to need him with Nova's guard play trying to dictate this game. I think he's my favorite play in this game.
Kurt, who's your favorite play in the Michigan-Villanova game? Break it down for us.
Some of the Sunday slates that Steve would have kind of be taking his wife to brunch or his fiance to brunch or whatever it was, I would write up these Michigan games, and I would always talk up Devontae Jones like crazy, and he eventually got to a price where I couldn't consider, but I'm obviously going to be on Devontae Jones. I've been on him all freaking year. The dude's a stud. Like Steve mentioned in the chat earlier, as long as he doesn't bang his head on something, they're going to need him out there. I mean, he's their engine of their offense, but it helps take some pressure off Dickinson. He's not an elite scorer, but he just gets everything going for them. Besides him, I don't want to do this Villanova thing again. I really might just X them out besides some Uncle Jermaine. I don't think Colin or Dustin are going to kill me. I don't think Dixon will kill me. Samuels could maybe get 40, but I don't like him.
Okay. Tony, any thoughts on the Villanova-Michigan game? One that I think Stevie was right on. Maybe we would look past this if there were 8 games in a day, but we only got 4 to deal with. So you want to dig anybody up from this one?
Yeah. First of all, I learned my lesson last week with UCLA and Villanova. I can't wait. I even gave the speech both days on the show about how they just don't lose in the tournament. So I'm not going to pick on, as far as bet side, I'm shifting it up a little bit. But DFS, I agree with these guys on Villanova. They spread it around. They're all floor plays. So if they fit as like last guy in, I'm okay with them. I guess Dixon would be considered a value play, decent play. But the Michigan guys are who I like. And my guy, though, I know they're probably going to hate this because Devontae's back healthy. But, man, Eli Brooks looked great to me the first 2 games. He put up, 37 and 36. He's still only 6,400. I just like how he looked, and he's not going to be owned because Devontae's back. So as a tournament play, I'm going to ride with him unowned. I think he's a really good play. He played 40 minutes both games. He always plays 40 from the looks of it. And I just think he's a good play. I liked what I saw. I think he played well, and I don't think Devontae hurts him as much in this matchup as other people might think. I like Devontae too. I could even play both of them together because they're both cheap. They're both going to play a ton of minutes, and I like it. I'm definitely not going to play Dickinson, though, just because I'd rather play the Gonzaga guys. I'm going to spend up for Gonzaga. I'm not going to spend up for a big Whitey like I always talk about. He was good last week, 2 good games. I don't want to play him against Villanova. Jay Wright will have a plan for him, whether it be double, whether it be, I don't know. I trust Jay Wright. I gave the speech last week. He's going to have a plan for Dickinson, which makes me like Devontae and Brooks even more. Maybe they'll get some open looks because of the double off Dickinson type thing. So I guess the fear would be maybe Jay Wright says, okay, Dickinson, beat us, and just single covers him all night and makes him beat you. I guess that's the downside to it. But I'm going to play the 2 guards. I'm not going to play much from Villanova. And I'm going to bet Villanova, though, for sure, minus the 5. I'm going to bet the under 135.5. That's where I'm at in this game. I'm done going against Villanova.
Yeah, we talked about it all day on Sunday too. We're like, man, why did we do this?
Yeah,
I'm with you, man.
And never had a chance in either game we talked about.
No.
Every year they're in the Sweet 16. They're one of the best coach teams in the nation. Nobody's standing. They got, how long's Gillespie been there? 8 years now? I mean, seriously, dude. He's been there longer than Perry Ellis was at Kansas. That's how long he's been in the college basketball. Stevie, quick betting thought on this one?
It's Nova or nothing for me.
Okay.
I do kind of like the under 2, like Tony said, just because Nova's going to try to play as slow as they can, 345th in tempo. I think, we hadn't mentioned the first game that you can play 4 or 5 guys from that game, would probably limit to 2 or 3 from this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. So supposed to tell you, hit the like button. That would be wonderful. Even if you're watching on tape delay. Also, subscribe button, bottom right-hand corner. That'd be awesome. Get us to 10,000. Things are going to be great. Hoop will be happy. That means everybody's happy. Texas Tech and Duke, the next game. Again, this line is both teams have been favored right now. I got Duke at -1. Texas Tech was 1.5 earlier today. Go shop around if you want to bet it. 136.5 is the total. Again, neither one of these teams just tearing it up pace-wise. But talk to me about Texas Tech, Stevie, because they play a lot of guys, and I just wonder what that means for this DFS slate.
Yeah, so I think this is the toughest game to get right on the slate, partly because of that, partly because, Texas Tech is the #1 defensive efficiency in the country. Duke hasn't played a team quite like this. But Duke has all the talent, right? So it's a super interesting mix of teams. As far as Texas Tech goes, like you said, they do play the deepest bench on the slate, so we want to be a bit careful there. But in that, they do have some guys who do play good minutes. My favorite is Kevin McCullough, who was hurt for basically all of February. He's played 33 minutes in their last 2 close games. He played 18 in that first round game where they just put it on Montana State. I think they scored like 97 or something. He's their most consistent producer. He's priced down at 5.4. This is a guy who was 7K before he got hurt. So I think you're getting a bit of value on McCullough. Outside of him, I think it kind of depends on your strategy and how many lineups you play. I think guys like Bryson Williams, O'Banner are in play, but definitely not in consideration for a main team given their minutes volatility. The matchup against Duke is good. We just saw Duke last week just wasn't able to get a stop. And that at some point in this tournament is going to hurt them when they're just not able to score on every possession. I think it could be tonight. Texas Tech is a hell of a team, and they are battle tested in the Big 12. One last note before we go to Duke. I pulled up Duke's adjusted defense, 95.6, would have been the 3rd worst in the Big 12 behind the 2 last place teams. So easier matchup for Texas Tech than they saw in conference for most of the season.
You want to get to the other side, or are we all good?
Oh yeah, I just didn't want to talk for 10 minutes straight.
That's fine. You're Stevie, man. You're the man here. Let's go.
Yeah. So Big T was all over Paulo last weekend. Great calls. As he thought, the rates have exploded in the tournament. He's finally crashing the glass again. He just wasn't rebounding to kind of end the year. That was so weird. He is trying to hero Duke through this tournament. This is the toughest interior matchup in the country. I'm pretty sure 27 of their 31 opponents had their season low in points inside the paint facing Texas Tech. So impossible to score on inside. Paulo, he's able to hit jump shots. He's super talented. I think he's viable here. Definitely will be low owned. And you're betting on a top 3 pick, low owned. I think he's fine in tournaments. Mark Williams played great last weekend. What was super encouraging was his minutes for me. I think his two of his 3 highest minutes on the season have come in his last 4 or 5 games. But the block upside's there, the rebound upside's there. He's going to have issues scoring, but you're not playing Mark Williams because you think he's scoring 20 points a game. You're playing him for a 14 rebound, 6 block game, which is definitely in his range of outcomes. And then 2 more. We saw AJ Griffin get hurt on Sunday, which sucked. I played him in Mania. I think he's going to be fine here if he starts again. His price is down 600 from where it was on Sunday, where he was a super popular play. The way to beat Texas Tech is from the 3-point line. Griffin's their best shooter. Love him in tournaments. Probably going to be low owned because people just got burned on Sunday. And then Roach has started over Trevor Keels in the first 2 rounds of the tournament, played, I think, 35 and 37 minutes. They're definitely going to need him here too. He's a willing shooter. I think he's a really good play at 5K. I don't see, a 35 plus ceiling, but I think I think Duke is going to need Roach to hit multiple threes in this game for them to beat Texas Tech. And I do like him to play well here.
All right. Kurt, let's get your analysis of Houston and Arizona. No, we're going to stick with this one first. Texas Tech, Duke. Let's stay with this one, Mr. Kurt. I was just drooling over Benedict Matherin, so I apologize. Love that dude. All right, go for it, Kurt. Who are the plays from this game?
It's tough to play guys against Duke, but like Steve said, you want to take the 3-point shooters. So I want to have those Griffin, Roach, Moore if it's a 30th lineup kind of thing. I'm not going to place. I don't want to pay up for guys against Texas Tech defense. On Texas Tech side, that Bryson Williams shot rate's hard to get away from at 5.5. 23% of the last 3. I mean, I've been burned by this shot rate, fooling me the past 4 slates it seems when he's on. But man, that's tough. That's tough to look at and not take him. He is sneaky. Davion, kind of like how last week I kept having Lampkin kept popping in my opto like crazy. We had 50% of them. I'm like, what's going on here? So Davion Warren's doing that this time. Don't know what you want to take that for what it's worth. The dude can get hot, but I can't say it's a main team play, but he's been popping. So there's that. McCullough, nice, safe and comfy. He cost me a chance of the seat, but still I still love him. I've loved him since his freshman year. He hit 25 points when he's 3K. So I like McCullough. Shannon, Santos Silver, I just like the first and last game, honestly.
Yeah, get rid of this.
You
don't care. Get rid of it, Kurt. Just say screw it. It's horrible.
We're gone. Get out of here.
Jeez, man, that was violent. Tony. Can we go back? Is this a Paolo Banchero night, or is this not the night to play him?
No, I'm off the wagon. I'm playing the Gonzaga spend ups tonight for sure.
Okay.
Texas Tech, great defense. Just a physical game. It's going to play slow, I'm sure. I don't want Duke guys outside of Griffin probably at 5,400 as a filler. Problem with Griffin though is I like all the Texas Tech guys more than Griffin. And one of the things I think I'm good at is finding some spots that the projections don't see and can't account for. I think our boy Ovenar, however you pronounce his name from last year, Oral Roberts, he looked incredible last game. He got a minutes boost. I think teams, just from being involved with basketball forever, teams fall into these veteran type guys that have been there before when it matters most. And this dude, we've seen him do it at this stage. He did it last weekend. The projections are not going to play him. No one's going to have this guy, and he's 5,600. I think he gives you real upside. I'm going to bet his props over too, 10.5 points and 6.5 boards. That's like stealing. I think those are just easy bets. And I think he has a big game at 5,600. He's projected worse than McCullough, Warren, Griffin, and Williams, basically. And I think he's a way, way better play than all of those guys. So he's going to be a stand for me tonight. I'm definitely going to have him. And McCullough falls into that bucket too. Like Stevie said, was hurt for a while. We've seen the talent in the past. When they made the deep run, it was him and the white guard, whatever his name was, the two guys that kind of carried them in that deep run. What was it, 2 years ago, I think, right? He was on that team, right? Had to be. Yeah, so I like those two guys, McCullough and Obenar. I might even have them both on my main team. That's how much I like both of them, even though the total's lower. I think we see minutes boost. I know they've played a lot of these guys a lot, but when push comes to shove, there was a blowout in the first game. The second game was a little bit of a battle. I think we see a minutes boost from both of these guys into the mid-30s, and these price tags are just too low against Duke. So sign me up for both. Sign me up for Texas Tech to knock out Duke too.
You're getting a point with him now. You weren't doing that this morning. Stevie, real quick, what do you think of Obenar? I don't remember you talking too much about him.
Yeah, I talked about O'Banner. Yeah, he was awesome for Oral Roberts last year, as Tony said. I think he's an awesome tournament play. I agree with Tony. Like in these close games, is the coach going to try to mix in the ninth guy off the bench, or is he going to ride O'Banner if he's playing well? I have a hard time seeing him playing less than he played last weekend, which is 32 minutes. Same with McCullough, which is why those are my two favorite plays on the Texas Tech side. I think McCullough's definitely the safer play. I think O'Banner's got more upside though. I mean, he posted 11 and 15 boards in the two games last weekend. Duke is pretty soft defensively. I think one of these Texas Tech guys is definitely going to get there against Duke, especially if they win the game, which I think
his prop is 6.5 rebounds. Like, talk about a free square.
I like that. I'm gonna hit that too.
Your only risk is just he picks up a couple fouls and it just totally kills his game.
Yeah, he isn't gonna have to guard Mark Williams either, which helps even more.
He's gonna smash. He's definitely gonna smash for us.
Obenar?
Yeah.
O'Banner, yeah.
O'Banner. Excuse me.
I'm definitely going to I've messed his name up for 2 years, so I'm going to be like JT Hayes and just go with it.
I'm going with Obenar.
If he hits all the props tonight, you have to call him by his correct name.
I don't know how to, even if I wanted to.
Doesn't matter.
It's O'Banner. It's O'Banner.
I know. I hear you say it. It just doesn't come out of my mouth right.
Join the club. It's almost like me and Dragic.
You and Golf.
I love golf. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're having a good time with that. Like button, subscribe button. Let's do it. Final game. Stevie, don't take this personally. I'm going to go to Kurt, though, because Kurt didn't
There's
have
no way
to
Obenar is going to be chalk either. So
okay, good. I hope you're right.
He'll be under 10%, I bet.
You can always project ownership in college based on the projections because everyone uses similar projections. So you just know who's going to be owned. It's easy to project ownership.
Hey, Kurt. Houston and Arizona, to me, this is my favorite game of the whole slate here tonight and probably tomorrow too. I cannot wait for this thing. Arizona, 1.5 point favorites now, 145.5. The total, a little healthy there. Arizona loves to run. Houston does not. They're pretty efficient though. And like I said, I was just dreaming of Benedict Mathurin. This dude's a top 5 pick. He's such a stud. He's coming off a big night. He may or may not have touched the titty of a cheerleader. We're not sure about that. Kind of looked like he didn't, but we didn't see the other action. Or the other angle. So, Kurt, talk to me here. Can you start with Mathurin? Is he even worth putting up there with the Gonzaga guys tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just going to go player by player real quick. Keep it short and simple. I love Benedict. I think he's playing like a 9K player right now. The dude's literally draft stock is soaring. Love him here. Koloko, I'm going to be a little bit low on, even though he just helped me beat. Houston's really tough inside. It's just going to take a lot for him to get there and blocks and stuff. Tube is a pussy. I am still going to play him because I'm also a pussy, I guess.
You can't play everyone, Kurt. You got
Everyone,
Kurt always
Kurt,
wants
just say
to
you're
play
playing
everyone.
dude.
He wants every dude in his.
Love
He
it.
was talking to me about 150 earlier. He's like, "What do you think about playing 60 dudes?" And I'm like,
I did not
there's only 40 starters.
what should my player pool be? Because I don't know. And this guy said, I'm not helping you off. I'm
I
like,
did not say that. I made fun of you for playing too many dudes.
okay. Anyways, back to it. I literally almost had two of my main team. That is what I'm saying. Terry.
Tube sucks. Put him in the
Tube
pool with
sucks.
the. Who'd you say in the first game? What was that dude? Put him in that same pool.
Julian
He's on my
Strother.
main team.
Yeah, put him in the
He's
Julian pool.
talented.
He's like the fifth best dude on their team. Is the problem?
Not beginning of the year.
Well, and we just saw them bench him against a tough, hard-nosed front court, which is exactly what Houston has too.
That's what scares me. Terry does a little bit of everything. I like him. Bilo, tall dude, can get like 3 blocks. If Koloko gets in foul trouble, Bilo could literally break the slate. Kerr could get hot. He shot 10 times last game, his first game back. If he makes like 5 of those, he could melt the slate at 5K. We've talked about it all day. For Houston, Fabian White's back is still a little bit messed up, but man, 6'2" is tough. It's not a main team play, but for GPPs, I like it. As far as the hill is Jamal Sheed and Moore, I'm going to go with Moore. I like what he's doing lately. He put the team on his back last game as far as just scoring when they needed a point. Yeah. All right. Steve. Oh, Carlton. I've scored Carlton, so I got to talk about him. They're going to need a size inside, kind of like look what Grant Basile did. Look what Eddie Lampkin did. I'm just going to try to follow that trend there and pray to God he doesn't get in foul trouble. At 5'2", he could get 10 and 10. Boom.
All right, Stevie, give me the breakdown of this game. I got 2 Houston guys I really like. Is that too many for this slate?
No, I think Houston is the most interesting like tournament guys on the slate. My favorite is Jamal Shead at 6'5". We just saw Arizona turn it over a million times against TCU. Shead is Houston's best, I guess, turnover forcer. He leads the team in steals. Could have like a ceiling steal game here. His price is down to 6'5". He's their main facilitator as well, 33% assist rate. So I like Shead a lot. Fabian, man, he effed me on Sunday. Just played awful. But his price is down. I think the back is kind of still bothering him here. We've seen his minutes go down into the high 20s, which is pretty rare. This Houston team was basically just playing, the 5.5 guys for a while. So while that price is good, I do have concern with the back and the minutes for Fabian. So those are my 2 favorite plays on Houston. I get the Carlton play that Kurt likes. 5'2" is a super low price for Carlton. He has that, he has the highest per minute usage on the team. He just doesn't get that many minutes because he fouls. On Arizona, man, Benny was freaking good Sunday night. That's the game that we wanted from him on Friday when we all were holding him against Wright State and he just didn't get it done. He definitely got it done against TCU. Same price as Nembhard. Super, super tough call there. I kind of like Benny in tournaments and Nembhard on like a main team. 28% shot rate for Benny last 3. I'm not playing tube. What did Gavin say? He's gonna be driving a trash truck in Lithuania in a couple of years. That was funny, probably true. And then I do have interest in Ncaa here at 4.9. He played 27 off the bench his first game back from the ankle. He's had 4 days off now. I think he's playable at 4.9. He's going to take a ton of threes. Went 1 of 10 last game. I actually kind of like that because no one's going to play him here. And this is a guy who was consistently 6'5" when he was healthy. I think he plays, 28, 30 minutes here and has good upside. We've talked about a ton of these guys right around 5K. This is what makes this slate so good is people have to make decisions on a bunch of options where it's not like last Sunday where there were literally only 2 guys in play under 5K. So I like this slate a lot.
All right. Very good. Tony, let's get your thoughts here. Houston, Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things Steve brought up that's a good point is you got to decide between so many good plays because there's so many guys in the same range. So one of the things I'm going to do is just eliminate the top range and only play those Gonzaga guys for the most part up top. And I just think they're so much safer and they have more upside probably, and people just aren't going to do it. They're going to want to play some of these guys. I'm just not going to I'm going to do what I did the first night with Arizona last week and fade the studs, play these. I like the Kerr call a ton because he was not healthy last weekend. 1 for 10, like Stevie said. He was bad, but he's 4,900 now, and he still got 10 shots in that game. He's going to play. If he gets the shot going, which I think they're going to need some outside shooting a little bit in this game, I think he's a very, very good tournament play. And I made fun of Kurt. I actually like the Ballo call because he's 4,200. You can fit him in with some studs. I wouldn't be surprised if they get foul trouble in this game. How many times have we seen the refs just want to blow the whistle? They freaking love it in college. I mean, he's going to be very low owned. We're playing tournaments to win 20K or whatever it is tonight in that big one. I think he's a great play at 4,200 because he's playing enough minutes, even if there isn't foul trouble, to hit 42. If he somehow catches extended run, though, he could break the slate and put up like 25 or something. So I love him. Terry, I'm right back on Terry again. He looked, honestly, based on price, he was the best player from Arizona last weekend. He was awesome in those 2 games. So I like him again. And then the Houston side is just tough because they're all pretty good plays. I mean, Kyler looked good. The Moore dude looked incredible. He's basically the reason they won that game. 6,700. Carlton, like you guys said, I think is a great play. And then Fabian, who hurt us last week, might be the best play if you assume health and if you assume not stupidity or foul trouble. So I don't know. This is where the slate gets tough, though, because if you're only playing 1 or 2 teams, it's tough to decide between these Houston guys. Like, I have a really hard time with it. So I'm going to do what I always do, simplify the slate, play like 5 guys in that Arizona or Arkansas game, and I just kind of pick and choose the rest of the slate because if you're like Kurt and you want to play 50 dudes, you're going to have some troubles getting out of that min cash line.
So just so everybody knows, if you're just showing up, we got Title, Mangone, and Hoop coming up on the NBA show. So that's the free hardwood show. We'll have Up to Lock today. I know, Tony, you're just going to be grinding the college. So I think AP's hopping in there. Gary, myself, will take you right up to Lock. That's another thing. And then let's get some great bets. Let's get some bets from you. Before we do that, Tony, can we just plug the bet side again? Because JJ's got all his picks up here. Baseball's coming up. NBA playoffs are here. I mean, there's a lot going on the bet side too, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about the DFS side, but right now's the time better than ever to get in the bet side. Looking at the sheet right now, I mean, Dunkel has 2, 4, 6 games up for tonight. He only plays his favorite plays too. So 6 games up there. It looks like maybe 1 or 2 of them is for tomorrow. But point being, 6 college games up for him. We got Joey Work back talking about baseball. I've seen some breakdowns. I got my whole card up again.
From that guy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was hoping the lockout would last longer. No, he's amazing at that. Keg too. Keg in the NASCAR show. Forget about it.
I mean, Keg's got a UFC pickup. I mean, all kinds of plays. It's just a slight add-on to the normal DFS site. Definitely check it out. Tons of good content, tons of winners. Like always tonight. I mean, there's tons of plays up there tonight. So check it out.
Okay, very good. Let's go. Tanning bed play of the day, Kurt. Give me the tanning bed play of the day.
Oh man. Okay.
Did I surprise you, given that we're on a DFS show, that I asked you for a play of the day?
Please don't say one of those 2 dust buckets.
Don't do it.
Oh my God. You're thinking
Here comes Julian Strother.
I'm circle jerking this guy. Like, come on. I'm just going to have him at 150. That's all I'm saying. Okay. He's going to be in there.
10%.
He's going to be one of your 60 guys in your pool. That's awesome.
15 maybe.
What's Kurt? Who's the play here, buddy?
Give me Carlton. I court him. It's risky. If he fouls, we're done. But give me Carlton.
All right, Stevie, play of the day. Who we got to jam in there today?
My favorite play, a guy that I'm going to have on my main team is Devontae Jones from Michigan. Okay. I'm hoping that he gets a little bit overlooked and lost in the shuffle in that 5K range. I think he's got upside to play like 36 minutes here.
I mean, he just fit perfectly into my lineup too, so I love it. Tony, workbench. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, really the only guy for me, we talked about a ton of good plays, but my boy Obenar, He just, I got his props up on the sheet.
Oh, banner.
I just like him a lot tonight. His props are free money. I just talked about the bet side. I got both of them up there, 10.5 points, 6.5 boards, especially the rebounds. I just don't see how he does not get you 7 or more rebounds to hit that prop. I put everything up on the sheet for 1 unit, but man, if I could go heavier on the sheet, I would go heavier on that one because he's going to win that for sure. And yeah, he's going to crush fantasy wise at under 10% owned. So he's the workbench play of the night.
Love it. I'll just go out on a limb here. I think Matherin's the highest scoring dude on this whole slate. I think he goes absolutely.
He can give you a nice edge too if you go heavier on him than those Gonzaga guys.
Yeah, I am. I'm that's my guy right there. And again, you could actually play him with one of the Gonzaga guys, given the value that you just heard from our guys here. So, Kurt, are you okay, buddy? I mean,
I'm sweating a EuroLeague.
These are the people that we work with. This is the people like Kurt. He sits in a troll house, lays in a tanning bed too long, and sweats soccer. And he ships.
It's not even soccer is the best part, Holden.
Soccer.
That's not. What are you watching?
Basketball.
I thought you said EPL.
EuroLeague. Basketball, though.
EBL. All right, whatever. Get a new mic.
This is Holden brought up the best point, though. We got guys grinding every sport for one price. Look at the commitment to my man's There's like 7 people in our EuroLeague chat, and Kurt's living and dying for the people.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. You're right, Space Cowboy. I hope Matherin scores with a cheerleader too. That was just, the guy's excited. Give me
Space Cowboy. Speaking of Space Cowboy, Holden, he came Thursday last week with the boys.
Yeah.
He said he's the dude that brought the pizza and everything. He said he'd be back Friday, wasn't here. Be back Saturday, wasn't there. Sunday, you think he was back all? He just was gone the rest of the damn weekend.
Good for him. Good job.
Good for him.
Some people are one and doneers, just like Chet.
Yeah, he's the Chet of the Run Pure party.
All right, guys, let's get out of here. Mangone, just so you know, title, Hoop, take your time with this show. We're fine on Up to Lock. It's a short slate.
There's only 5 games tomorrow. Anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe
we'll get Lamp on.
There's only 5 games.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Take your time, guys. Up to Lock, we can take our time. Tomorrow, 4:00 Eastern, same thing. Same crew. We're going to talk this college hoop slate. We got 4 more games, including my Jayhawks. I'm excited about that. I promise not to wear the Batman shirt tomorrow. It's going to be some KU gear, my friend. Got to get going for that one. But tonight,
how much is our boy? What's that guard's name? How much is he?
Remy?
Is the pricing out?
Yeah, just
no, they haven't posted it yet.
We'll see you tomorrow. You can't get off my boy. Hasn't he been treating you well?
He treated me right. I accidentally locked him in the one day, and he treated me well.
Yeah,
all 150.
He's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. And that's going to be a good game because Providence is going to chuck up a ton of threes too. All right, for Kurt, for Stevie, for Big T, my name's Holden. Simon, great work behind the scenes. Get us out of here, please.